y momentum for 2D problem. And we know that this SMAC method is a explicit method. So we solve for x momentum u star v star explicitly, and then we solve in an iterative manner for p prime. So this is explicitly, implicitly for p prime, but explicit method for u prime and v prime. Now, when you are calculating this u prime and v prime, you might need to take delta t. Okay. And also you might need to take delta x, right? These delta t, delta x conditions, we know that there are conditions. So number one condition which comes from the con convective terms, that is called as Courant Friedrich Lewis number, CFL criteria. And for 3D problem, this CFL criteria, this del t multiplied by magnitude of u divided by delta x plus magnitude of v divided by delta y plus magnitude of w divided by delta g. This delta t u delta x plus v delta y plus w delta g should be less than equal to 1. This condition has to be satisfied. You have to take delta t and delta x, delta y, delta g such a way that, so for 2D problem, delta x and delta y, for 3D problem, delta x, delta y, delta g. So I'm writing here for 3D. If your problem is 2D, then you can neglect one of the term based on which axis you are taking. So take xy if you are taking, then keep these two terms, neglect this. That will be a condition for 2D CFL criteria. So you have to take delta t and delta x such a way that it satisfy this condition. Along with that, you have another condition for delta t and delta x, that is also called as grid Fourier number. That is called as grid Fourier number. And this criteria, grid Fourier number, is, this is your viscosity delta t and 1 over delta x square plus 1 over delta y square plus 1 over delta g square for 3D problems should be less than equals to half. Okay. So you have to take delta t such a way that it should be a minimum out of these two. Either you take this or this, and out of this, whichever is minimum, you consider that delta t. Similarly, delta x, delta y, delta g, whichever is minimum, that delta x, delta y, delta g you have to take. So minimum values, so that you are at a conservative side, so that both these conditions, condition 1 and condition 2, satisfies for this Navier-Stokes equation, for this x momentum equation and y momentum equation. Okay. So you have to check both the conditions for this problem. So you have to take any delta t which is minimum out of this two. Okay, so this is the note you have to consider when solving SMAC, solving Navier-Stokes equations using SMAC method. Okay, so in the last class we discussed about boundary conditions. What type of boundary conditions are used? So basically, we know that there are three: Neumann, Dirichlet, and Robbins boundary conditions, and how they are implemented when there is a domain given. Okay. So if this is a wall, then what should be the values of the variable specified for this wall boundary condition? what should be the values of the variables to be specified for this inlet boundary condition, what should be the variables for the outlet boundary condition. Okay, so that is what you have to do, and you have to see and do. Okay. So based on the problem, you have to select. If it is a symmetry boundary condition, then what should be the conditions we have already seen. Now, once we know the boundary conditions at the boundaries, then how do we implement here? Implement in the code. Okay, how we discretize those boundary conditions. Say for example, here the boundary condition is given del t del y is equals to 0. Then how do you implement this in the code? Okay, so that we are going to see today. So for that, to implement boundary condition, we use a concept of ghost cell. Okay, so for example, if this is your domain and you convert this domain into number of subdomains, so this becomes interior domain. Then what do you do is you take uh, another cell layer of cells which are called as ghost cell or fictitious cells, which are not real but they are there. Okay. Okay, so these are ghost cells. Let me just write. So these are ghost cell or fictitious cells. Okay, and these are interior cells. So interior cells, so all these have cell centers. We are using concept of cell center rather than a node, which used to consider in previous classes. We are switching to cell center kind of concept. Okay, like this. So in this case, your I, this will be your I will be 1, then you will be your I will be next I is equals to 2. Okay, like that you have to go finally up to I is equals to nx, which means that this will be a 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 up to nx minus 1. Okay. Interior cells will be 2 to nx minus 1 and boundary cells will be uh, I is equals to 1 and like that. Okay. Similarly, j indexing can be started like that. J is equals to 1, j is equals to 2 and finally up to ny. Okay. Okay. Now we can designate by F and interior by I. Okay. Or okay. Or here F I. Okay. Now say suppose you have been given uh, velocity boundary condition. You you at boundary is equals to 0. Suppose here at the lower wall you have to implement a boundary condition called as u is equals to 0. Suppose this is a boundary condition, u at this lower boundary, lower bc, lower boundary, lower b is equals to 0. That is the no slip condition you want to apply here at this boundary, at this boundary. Then how do you do that? Okay. So to do that, u values are known at the phase cells, right? So here one u value will be known. Okay. So that you can say ui, and here you can say at this phase center, this vertical line, red vertical line, the phase center value is uf. Okay. And at this point the value of u should be 0. So how do you do this? So u at boundary at this cross should be 0. So to implement this, we simply write ui at that phase plus uf at that phase divided by 2 should be equals to 0. Okay. So we take the average of these two such a way that the average will be 0. So based on this, then we came to know that uf will be essentially equals to minus ui. Okay. So here wherever you are there, your f is varying from I is equals to 1 to nx. Your f is varying from I is equals to 1 to nx. Similarly, this I is also varying from 1 to nx. So you apply this f is varying from means essentially I plus half. So I plus half to nx minus half, to nx minus half. Similarly, I is also varying from I mean interior int. I can write int. This I and this I is different, so I can write int and int and int. This int is also varying from I plus half to nx minus. So you can implement this boundary with this patch. Okay, so that is the u is equals to 0 boundary condition. Suppose you have another boundary condition, say you have del p prime del y. Del p prime del y is equals to 0. Del p prime del y is equals to 0 is a boundary condition that need to be implemented. Okay. Delta y is in this case delta y is this distance between two cell centers, delta y. Okay. So how do you do that? So to do this, we write this p prime interior minus p prime f, p prime f. Okay. So at this point, what is the value, or at this point, what is the value minus the value at this point divided by the distance between them. Okay, that is your forward difference, and that has to be equals to 0. Okay. So based on this, p prime f value will be nothing but equals to p prime interior value. Your f is varying from plus half to nx minus half, and then interior is also varying from. So likewise, you can use any type of, you can implement any boundary condition. Suppose you have del v by del x, suppose you have del t by del x, del t by del y boundary condition, then again you have to write t interior minus t at fictitious cell divided by delta y is equals to 0, and this will give you t at the fictitious cell will be equals to t at the interior. Okay. So you have to implement such a way that at boundary the values will be satisfied. Same thing you can do for x cases. So here also you can do the same thing. Okay. Here you can also apply the u is equals to 0, v is equals to 0 boundary conditions, or any del phi by del x condition equals to 0. You can apply the forward difference accordingly, and you can get the boundary conditions implemented. Okay. So this is the way you have to proceed for any boundary condition. The first concept is to concept of this ghost cell concept, and then with this ghost cell concept you have to assign the values at these boundaries such a way that the interior and fictitious values satisfy the boundary condition. Okay. So this if uf is equals to this satisfies this boundary condition. So that is why we are writing uf is equals to u interior as a boundary condition. Okay. So this is a boundary condition. This is a discretization of the boundary condition for the Navier-Stokes equation. Okay. So here you don't see that directly it is uf is equals to 0. Okay. Here the value is 0. Here the value is 0. And that value is nothing but the average should be 0. That is what we are saying. The average of interior value and average of the fictitious phase center value should be 0. Okay. So similarly, you apply for other boundary conditions, and many of them are like u is equals to 0, v is equals to 0, w is equals to 0, and del phi del x or del phi del y is equals to 0 condition. So these two examples shows how to implement boundary conditions. You can implement any other boundary condition similarly. Okay. So this completes how to discretize Navier equation, what type of boundary conditions to be given, and how to implement the boundary condition. Okay. Next, the last part of solution of Navier equation is the another algorithm. Okay. Solution of Navier-Stokes equation. So another method that is called as using simple method. SIMPLE. Semi-implicit method for pressure link equations. Okay. This is called as semi-implicit method or semi-implicit method. For pressure link equations. Okay. So this method is implicit method. Okay. The previous one, the SMAC method was explicit. Okay. Explicit method. But this is simple is actually implicit method. Okay. So implicit means what? So say you have these equations. So x momentum equation. This you have to solve let me write in the discretized form of this. So you write this ui plus half. So center of our, so this is a cell, this is ij. So we are taking at u at here and v at here. So this is I plus half j minus u I plus half j, and this is at n plus 1 and this is at nth level and delta t. Other terms, other terms, so del u del x, this is also n plus 1. That is what implicit means. Del vu del y, this is also n plus 1. 1 by rho del p del y n plus 1. Plus nu del 2u del x2 plus del 2u del y2. This is also n plus 1. Okay. Similarly, y equation. So I'll just write it. So that will be v and then I j plus half minus v I j plus half n plus 1 n divided by delta t plus del u v del x, this also n plus 1 plus del v p del y, this also n plus 1, this is equals to 1 by rho del p, excuse me, this is x, this is x, del p del y n plus 1 plus nu d2v dx2 plus d2v dy2 n plus 1. Okay. And then you have the equation on continuity, and equation on continuity is always n plus 1. So this is, say, this is equation number 1, this is equation number 2, and this is equation number 3. But we know that this term in incompressible flow cannot be, this is always uh, the unknown, and that is a problem. Okay, this unknown is always a some sort of problem. So how do you deal with this case? So n plus 1th value is not possible to figure it out. So what should we do? That is the thing we are thinking about. Okay. So what we can do is we can write this equation in terms of the known pressure field. Instead of all other values, we just simply uh, consider these values as known values, and we write this n plus 1th level value as star value. So how I'm writing? So I'm writing u I plus half comma j minus u I plus half comma j. Okay. So I'm writing n plus 1 value is star value and nth level value is nth level value, delta t. I'm writing this n plus 1 again, del u del x. Let's say it is a star value. Since I'm changing these values, I'm just saying that these are not actual n plus 1th level values. They are some intermediate level values with known pressure field. That is what I'm saying. So I'm just writing this changes u v del y star. And then I say that 1 by rho del p del x. This is nth level plus nu and this term again star level star values, and I say that this is 1 prime. Okay. Now this equation is 1 prime. Similarly, you can write equation for v I j plus half minus v I j plus half and star and this nth level delta t. This you can write as del v u del x star plus del v del y star minus 1 by rho del p del y n plus nu and the term, and I say now this is a 2 prime. Okay. So what we can do is we assume a pressure field and from this assumed pressure field iterate this equation 1 prime and 2 prime to get u star. Okay. So what does this mean is assume, this means is assume p n and obtain iteratively means either you have to use GSSOR iteratively u star v star u star v star. Okay. In case of 2D, u star and v star in case of 2D. Okay. Now once you calculate the u star and v star, we should know the correct value of these are not the correct solution. We want a correct solution for u and v. U star and v star are intermediate values and not u n plus 1 values and u v n plus 1 values. And we would like to get the actual values. And those actual values will come with the actual value of p. And actual value of p will be the one which will satisfy the continuity. So using this condition of continuity, uh, we can uh, we can obtain the essentially the which will satisfy this equation. We can calculate the pressure field, okay, which will satisfy that. So to find out the pressure Poisson equation, what is done here is we subtract this equation 1 prime from 1 and 2 prime from 2. Okay. So subtract 1 minus 1 prime and 2 minus 2 prime. Okay. And after you do this, what you are going to get is this. So you are going to get u n plus 1. I'm not writing any index. Then u star divided by delta t plus you will be getting a terms here. You'll be getting that terms del u del x, right? Del u del x n plus 1 minus del u del x star. Okay. Similarly, you will get del uv del y minus del uv del y, and this is n plus 1 and this is star. Okay. Likewise, you will get this term. And then you have equals to minus 1 by rho, you have del p del x minus del p del x. And this is n plus 1 and star. And you have other terms, that is plus nu. You will get one term with n plus 1 minus star term. Okay. So there is an assumption over here. In case of simple method, these values are not known, so these values are neglected. Okay. So these values are neglected. So neglect this. So in neglecting these values, okay, neglect. So once you neglect this, you get an equation which is un plus 1 minus u star divided by delta t, and you get the prime equation. So minus 1 by rho, you get del p n plus 1 minus p star del x. Okay. So this is one equation. You can get similarly v equation minus v star delta d is equals to minus 1 by rho del p n plus 1 minus p star del y, equation number 5. So you can write this terms as prime, u prime, this can be u prime, and this can be v prime. Similarly, these two terms can be written as p prime, pressure correction, and okay. So prime means prime quantities, primed quantities are corrections. Okay, so these are the corrections, and this pressure correction equation you can solve. So you can simply solve now these equations. So what is the algorithm to solve? Okay, so I'll just write here the algorithm to solve. So solution algorithm. And discretization, other things are similar to the SMAC one. So discretization of these terms, convection term, diffusion term, pressure term, and this forward in time difference, they are same as shown in the SMAC case, in simple case also. But the way these equations are solved is different. These are implicitly solved. So first is initialization, which remains same. Initialization of all the arrays and all the variables or all the initial conditions you have in your equation. Then second thing is you have to solve this, solve iteratively, solve iteratively. Iteratively means using any iterative method. Solve iteratively equation 1 prime and 2 prime to get u star and v star, okay, till r RMS, okay, less than some number. Some number means maybe 10 to the power minus 6. So unless this R residual RMS, residual RMS goes to 0, goes to 0 means 10 to the power minus 6. You have to solve. When you get RMS this value, then U star V star will be the proper solution of this iteration. Then third, once you solve U star and V star, then you have to solve this pressure correction equation. You have to solve this pressure correction equation using the star values and prime values, and then iterate Poisson equation for pressure correction. Okay, and you have to solve iteratively equation along with BC, along with BC boundary conditions. Similarly, pressure correction along with boundary conditions. Okay, so pressure correction equation 4 and 5 till we get till convergence. So till RRMS. So RRMS of this equation, RRMS of this equation falls to certain small number. Okay, then you will get U P prime, and then what you have to do is you have to update the values of NPN plus 1, that is equals to nothing but Pn plus P prime, and then use star values you have to update. So I'm just writing vector. It can be u, it can be v, it can be w star, which will be nothing but u star, nothing but equals to u n plus 1, v star is equals to nothing but v n plus 1. So I'm just writing as vector to make it generalize, and then you can have plus delta t by rho and the gradient of pressure P prime. This you can do for u velocity, v velocity, and w velocity, and repeat 224 okay, till some criteria is met. So what is that criteria? You can say till the sum of values ui and ui, okay. So in this case, your I is it can be ij. Yeah? So ij means I plus half j, ui plus half j. This at n plus 1 and nth level divided by n total. N total means total number of grid points. Total number of grid points. This should be less than some small number, say 10 to the power minus 6. If this is happening, you can check for u velocity as well as you can check for v velocity. So I'm just writing as a vector. So these values may will change. If it is u, then I plus half j, v, it will be I j plus half. So let me remove this. The same condition you can check for v velocity, summation overall j, say ij, summation over ij, and then vi j plus half minus vi j plus half n plus 1 n plus 1 and n divided by n total should be less than, okay, minus 6, or and both the conditions should satisfy, or if you wish to become more stringent, depends on the flow problem. If u is dominant, then you can check on u, v is dominant, you can check on v, but you can check both. So both conditions should get satisfied, then you stop. If it is happening less than minus 6, you stop. Second, sixth is print, then print all the values, that is u star, v star. Now u star, u n plus 1 will become u star finally. Okay, so print u n plus 1 values and then p prime values. These are the, and then whatever the purpose you have with these values, you can find out other quantities. Okay, so this is how you have to solve this equation. Okay, this pressure Poisson equation you have to obtain by using this condition. I haven't. I'm not saying that you have to use 4 and 5. Okay, so this iterate pressure Poisson equation. This pressure Poisson equation is coming from substitution of 4 and 5 in equation 3. Okay, that will give you pressure Poisson equation. So that will be similar to the one we have already seen. So that rho by delta t and gradient of u star. Okay, so this is the equation which is similar to the smack case. Okay, that equation you have to solve. So there is only difference in between these two method is that this method is implicit. Okay, so in the smack case, this second one was not iterative, but in simple case this is iterative. Okay, pressure Poisson is always iterative. In the smack case, iterative. Third step is iterative, but in second step, smack case was explicit, and simple case is iterative. Okay, that is only a difference. Otherwise, all other here discretization of this convection term, discretization of the pressure term, discretization of the diffusion term is similar to the one we have considered for the smack case for a staggered grid. Okay, till now we have done for staggered grid. Okay, so any problem regarding this? This concludes your solution of Navier-Stokes equation on a staggered grid using implicit and explicit method. Okay, so all the things related to the CFD part of the programming of on a staggered grid is shown. Similar kind of philosophy also used in a, collocated grid arrangement, which is a present day standard. But you have to be very careful in terms of pressure velocity decoupling. And we are not taking that thing. Okay. So that will be too much at this moment. So you should know at least for staggered grid how the formulation is done, how the discretization is done, and how the different algorithms are used, or what are the methods to solve using SMAC and what are the methods to solve using simple. Okay, and how do you implement the boundary conditions? Implementation of the boundary conditions is little uh, different as compared to the previous cases we used to consider. Here we are considering the concept of ghost cell. Okay, ghost cell concept, and using this ghost cell concept, we implement the boundary conditions. Okay. So as a homework, you take up any problem and do all the discretization along with the boundary condition. Okay. Take up small problem, say a problem of maybe like this. Uh, this is a hot wall, and here is a fluid. Okay. Here is a fluid. So you have three equations to be solved. One is for U, one is for V, and one is for T temperature. And here temperature is suppose 1, say 100, and here temperature is say 0 degree Celsius, and here the top are insulated. Okay. And fluid, say water is inside, this is insulated. For this problem, you try to formulate your number one SMAC. Okay, everything. Discretization of governing discretization of U momentum equation, U momentum, V momentum. Okay, and then boundary conditions, and then algorithm. You write for this particular problem. Similarly, you write using simple method, the same thing. Discretization of U momentum equation means U star, V star, okay, and then boundary conditions for this particular problem, okay, U star, V star, and T, and also T, and then boundary conditions, and then algorithm. Okay. Now, when any other variable is coming, then where are the changes coming in the algorithm? Suppose T has come. Okay. So T temperature equation has to be solved. Then where do we solve this equation? So once we get the values of U star, V star, and the pressure Poisson equation, pressure correction terms, then in after that, after we update this, here can be another step 4a, or we will say 5, then this will be 6, 7, like that. So this step can be then iterate it explicitly, solve solve t equation explicitly. Okay. So here you can solve after you get the new values of the pressure and velocity. You solve the T equation, you get the values, repeat the procedure. Here also you can put a condition on temperature, summation Ij, temperature at those locations at new time level minus temperature at the same location at old level at all the divided by all total grid points should be less than -6. Okay. So after you assign p prime, even in the case of SMAC also, suppose any other variable is there apart from t, some y, species mass fraction. Suppose this is a mass fraction. Equation has to be solved. That equation also you can solve after t. So here you can write 6, then solve y equation explicitly. It depends, implicit or explicit, it's your choice. Okay, that you can decide and you can solve either explicitly or implicitly. Okay. So these points you should note. You have to incorporate any other scalar equation after you solve for the u velocity, v velocity, w velocity and pressure field. Then you solve for any other scalar. Okay. So try to do this for both the methods for this small problem. Okay. Here you can say that this is a x direction, this is a y direction, and this length is 1 and this length is 1. Okay. This height is 1 and this height is 1. For this problem, you have to write u momentum discretization of discretization, u momentum, v momentum, t equation, boundary condition, and show algorithm. Show algorithm to solve this equation. Show algorithm similarly for simple case. Okay. So do this exercise. That's all for the class. And in the coming two lectures, I will start with the introduction to turbulent flows. Okay, so next class we will see introduction to numerical solution of or introduction to CFD of turbulent flows. Okay, so that we'll see tomorrow. Thank you.